There we go. We're back. Week 8.
Let's go,
Let's
baby. How
hear
we
it,
feeling?
brother.
Update me. How we feeling?
I lost. I'm up to 228. And I got a buddy in town. I was just telling you this. Pretty big accomplishment, but not at the same time. So no alcohol. Diet's locked in place. But it's my best friend, and he's only here 2 days, so we wouldn't shot pool till 2 last night. So here's the plan. Do the podcast later on that I got to do, but I'm gonna just take a nap today and get my normal hours of sleep. That's all I'm gonna do. So
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's like, here's the thing. First of all, proud of you for not drinking, especially when you got like an old friend in town and you're used to maybe having drinks when someone is visiting you. But that shows like the discipline and commitment. And then, man, you've been working so hard. It's like on a day like this, like when we're traveling or when your schedule's off, you got to rejuvenate the body, right? And so, I mean, I don't know about you, man, but since I've been working with Dr. J, I feel amazing. So, like, you were up late last night, which I get, but on a normal, typical day, like, how's your sleep and recovery been? Because since I've been working with Dr. J and taking the supplements and doing everything he told me to do, my sleep is so good. I have so much energy throughout the day. I'm not even barely drinking any coffee, like at all. And I got my wife working with him too, and her sleep is improving, her mood, her energy. It's a game changer, man. So have you noticed that for yourself?
yeah, I do. I mean, if anything I struggle with, I was trying to shoot for 8 hours. I'm not getting the 8. Um, the food's been dialed in. The supplements are 100% locked in. It's man, I got to tell you, I'm putting in some serious hours of work. We're traveling a lot, but my workouts have been money. The sleep thing, though, I'm like, I got to figure out a way. Every single night this past week, every single night, John, I've had lots of company over, lots of people, like literally spending the night. So, no excuse. I mean, I'm shooting. I'd really like to get 8 hours, and I haven't.
Yeah, well, the hard part is like inconsistent sleep times. For me, like we have young kids at home, so we're always going to sleep at the same time. And I love it. And I've found that I need less sleep recently since I've been taking the right supplements because the quality of sleep is so good. Like I'm sleeping really sound. And so for anyone listening to this, man, like if your sleep is messed up, it screws up your whole life. And you might think you're crushing it. Like I thought I was crushing it, Tommy, right? And I'm just a hustler and I'm just driven. But I feel like I'm on a whole nother level now that I'm optimizing my health. And it feels amazing. And not just that, but like you said, the nutrition. Like when I did the blood work and I really learned about leaky gut and understanding how processed foods really are so bad for us. I even threw away all my protein powder. I cut out anything that's not organic or like a grass-fed animal, so like beef. I'm eating a lot of venison because it's super high in protein. It tastes good too. Bison, all the right foods. So it's the combination of everything. But there's going to be times like when you have company over and people there that you still have to have that grit to just push through those days when you're tired and stuff. I get that.
No, and I'm good, man. I feel great. And the secret sauce is just long walks almost every day. Long walks, not because of the cardio, not because of it trims fat, not, but it's because you get your ass up and
And
you
it's fit.
move and you reflect.
Yep.
You get a little sweat going. But the real deal is like it's Mother Nature. It just makes you feel good.
Yeah. Walking is, dude, it's so good because like you said, after about 10, 15 minutes, you're kind of barely sweating a little bit. But then for me, after about 10 or 15 minutes, my mind starts going because like it's that blood flow to the brain and all these ideas, all this creativity, all this insight. And like you said, being out in nature, especially if you're doing it with Bree, it's it's peaceful. It's peaceful. I live by the ocean here. So the other weekend, my wife and I were on a staycation getaway. My sister watched the kids. And so we were staying right on the beach and we got up in the morning, we had coffee and we just walked out on the beach. And here in the ocean, the waves crashing and just having your feet in the sand, like those are the little moments, man, that are so rejuvenating. And I try to do it often, but it's hard, when you're super busy, but it's really impactful when you do.
Yeah, you got to get out of Mother Nature. Yesterday I did 23,000 steps.
Dang.
So I'm coming. I mean, hey, Bree, when's our DEXA scan? My next one? I think it's in 2 or 3 weeks. So
You got
my
abs yet?
number
You
one
got,
thing, dude.
you got an eight-pack yet?
Not yet. No, I'm gonna go for 8 hours of sleep, but I'll tell you this. Dude, Dr. J, right? I can't even explain this, but we had 225 on the bench yesterday when I walked in on incline bench. And I'm not trying to push it, man. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. To my trainer. And he's like, no, dude. He's like, just do it. So I did it for 12. Then we throw another 10 on each side. And I just need him to push me, when you're not in town and shit. So he threw another 10 plate on, no problem for 10. Threw another 10 plate on. So now what is that? 355? No, 255. 255.
40, yeah, 40 plus 220. Yeah. So like 285
Wait
maybe.
a minute. Yeah, 265. Right? Yeah. Oh, I'm just repping it like it's nothing.
Yeah, you're a bigger guy, you're strong, and then when you take care of your body like that and you're putting all the right stuff in your body, it's amazing how strong you feel, and how you recover too. So it's like pushing that weight and then as dialed in as you are and disciplined with your nutrition. Like here's the thing, anybody listening to this right now, I don't even know if anyone's on, but if Tommy can have as busy of a life as he has and still prioritize exercise and eating clean and have the discipline to not drink because he wants to really see where he can get with his physique and his health, anybody can do it. It's a mindset, and that's why I love that you're not only taking care of your health and making it a priority, but you're documenting everything. Because other people, when they see that, it's like, damn, what's my excuse? Like if Tommy Mello can freaking do this, why can't I?
Oh, that's a great question. Why can't I? I mean, literally at the end of the day, I don't know. This was this past week. I'm like, it's great to get in shape and smile and be confident in yourself. But the real deal is the energy, the euphoria, the dopamine. Like I can't explain to people this feeling of just, I'll just tell you, dude, there's nothing like it in the world. Like you want to get shit done. You know how many times, Sean, here's the number one thing. Everybody, not just 1, 2, 500 people, everybody's like, what's going on with you? You're focused. You seem like you're in the present moment. You seem like you're happy. You seem like everybody's like, something's changed. And it's like, yes, they see I've been working out. They see that, like, of course, they see I'm not drinking and that whatnot. But it's like, they're like, you just seem more content. And they're like, you're just, we've never seen you like this. And everybody that knows me knows I'm not a unhappy guy, but this is different. And it's just, that's been different for me because, dude, I've always worked out and there's been times that I've been like muscular and times not muscular, but this mental, I mean, I am on that peptide. I don't know that mental peptide, the Dr. J. I don't know if you're on that one, but
Well, here's the thing. What you're saying is so true. So most people who are going to be watching this, they want to build their empire. They want to crush it. They want to be super successful in business. Like, we're the same way, Tommy. Like we're goal oriented. We're driven individuals. Nothing feels better than having 10 times more drive and focus and inspiration when you're building your empire. Like I get exactly what you're saying. And here's the thing. I worked out for 12 years. I've been sober 12 years. I've eaten clean for such a long time. So I took all that and put it together and then combine that with Dr. J. Like it's a game changer. I feel 10 times more focused, elevated mood, more driven than ever before. And it's like, oh my gosh, if people thought I was motivated before, if people thought Tommy Mello was motivated before, watch out. Cause it's like, it does, it takes everything to the next level. And you just feel happier and you have more endurance throughout the day, and for me, man, like I have kids. So when I get home, I don't want to be burnt out. I don't want to be all disgruntled around my family because I'm burning the candle at both ends. So now I go home and it's like I feel amazing, and I'm chasing the kids around the house and tickling them and playing with them. We're going on, date nights, trips, all this stuff. I've just seen it carry over into all areas of my life. So, it's the coolest thing when you actually have a performance doctor on your team. You know what to eat, you're educated about nutrition, because most people are putting poison in their bodies every day and they wonder why they struggle with mental health, or their energy's low, or they're not feeling that spark for their life anymore. So it's definitely a game changer, man.
One thing I want to say, Sean, is when you start walking for an hour a day and you get out really early in the morning, there's a lot of positivity, like a positive health benefits, like more than people understand, like so many in Mother Nature. But I want to add one more thing is like when you burn yourself 650 calories, depending on how fast you're walking, you put an hour in it. Well, let's just say it's 600 calories. You put an hour's worth of time in to do that 600 calories. You start really paying attention to what you're eating. You start looking at labels. It might sound weird, but you say, listen, why have those M&Ms? Why have those Juju Beat? I don't know, Sour Patch Kids, or anything? Why drink your calories, whether it's a soda or whatever? The theory in my mind of why I do it, it seems weird, but I look at stuff. I look at like bars that I used to get, like that I thought were healthy, and I'm like, it might have 2 servings at 500 a piece. And I'm like, I'm not spending 2 hours to burn this off. I'll do it for protein and vegetables and healthy food. But that mentality, dude, has changed everything. Because I never looked at the labels before.
Yeah, I mean, when you're putting all the work in, you don't want to just sabotage your results by being careless, and I think it's crazy that people spend so much time trying to make money, but they don't even take the time to consider what they're putting in their body in the form of food. Like if you look at the back of the ingredients, you don't even know what that shit is. It's all chemicals made in a lab somewhere and manufactured, and you're putting it in your body. And I'm telling you, man, if someone's listening to this and you've struggled with motivation, depression, anxiety, you don't feel 10 out of 10. Chances are it's because of the food you're eating. Exercise and proper nutrition is like a superpower. I don't care if you want to build $1 billion business like Tommy, or just be the best parent or husband and wife you can to your spouse. You're going to be a way better version of yourself. And like, I'm so fired up to talk about nutrition more than ever, Tommy. Like before, I never cared to talk about it. I'd see guys putting these videos out about nutrition and this and that. I didn't care. I wanted to inspire people and speak to like bigger issues in their lives. But since I've been educated about how damaging processed food is, especially for my children, I'm so fired up because I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off at all the big companies that are just making money and they're selling out the American youth. I'm pissed off at parents who are ignorant, that don't take the time to educate themselves about nutrition, and they're poisoning their kids and they don't even realize it. But all of that stuff is damaging our people, man. Like the American kids, that generation is struggling more than ever with mental health and with confusion about their identity and all this stuff. It's because they're taking in so much toxins from the environment and from the food they eat. So, man, I'm fired up to bring this to people's awareness because it's a really big issue and it needs to change. And so, not to go off on a tangent, but it's like when you lead by example, like you are, and you have a voice and a platform, we have a responsibility to, number one, become our best selves and then show people and tell them how we did it. That's how we elevate everyone around us.
100. Every single person that I know has a platform. They have kids, they have parents, they have a family. And they probably don't want to hear this right now. But there's a lot of things. Diabetes isn't 100% hereditary. All the stuff that it's really bad to say this, but you said it last time. There's a lot of people that should be in prison. You go through somebody's cupboard, you're setting this kid up for destruction.
Yeah,
You set him up for destruction.
They think that's extreme, but what about when your kid's suicidal? Like, the number one cause of death, and I might misquote this actually, but let me just say this: suicide for men below the age of 50 is one of the leading causes of death. They're mentally ill and sick, and not and younger people. More and more younger people are being diagnosed with depression, ADHD, anxiety. Like, what is that shit? It's dude, it's a byproduct of being poisoned and putting toxins in your body. Because when you start to understand the correlation between gut health and mental health, and you've learned about leaky gut, right? So I've been educated about leaky gut by Dr. J. Literally, the food that you put in your body is going to affect your gut health, and your neurons in your gut communicate to your brain. So neurotransmitters, the things in our brain that make us feel a certain way, it's affected by your gut health. So when you start to understand the correlation, you start to really pay attention to, number one, what you're eating. And then if you have kids, and if you really care about your kids, you care about your wife, you care about your family, whatever it is, like, dude, you won't allow them to eat that stuff once you understand how damaging it is. And that's where I'm at, man. And the coolest thing, Tommy, is yesterday my wife sent me a video. She made homemade chicken nuggets using healthy ingredients because the kids love those dino nuggets, but they're so bad. They're so bad for children. They're addicting, right? Because they taste good. So she made homemade chicken nuggets and they loved them. And it was all healthy ingredients. She makes homemade popsicles with either blended up watermelon or coconut water. And we just put fruit in there and freeze them. There's no added ingredients. It's pure fruit, and then
you need to post making that stuff.
I'm
like
going to
next
post
time
it.
she does.
I'm going to post it with the ingredients. We're actually going to make like not a website, but like an ebook, like healthy recipes for families. Because we're also making homemade granola and homemade protein bars. And I'm telling you, it's all healthy. I thought granola was good. Like I thought, oh, granola is a pretty healthy alternative. Once I did the blood work with Dr. J, I found out my omega-6s were high. And I'm like, what the heck? And I looked at the granola I would eat, and it has sunflower seed oil and canola oil. That stuff's so bad. That stuff causes cancer long-term. So I cut all that out, and now we're making our own at home, and it tastes good. There's ways to make healthy food taste good. It's just the big corporations, they can't mass produce it, and they can't make all the money they make now with really healthy stuff. So they'd rather put in these, processed ingredients to make more money. And they know it's damaging for people who eat it. They, like the CEO and the owners of Kellogg's cereal, they're marketing all this shit to kids, and it's so bad for them. Like those guys should be put in prison. I'm telling you, people think I'm extreme, but I actually care. Like anybody listening to this, I actually care. I care more about people's well-being, their mental health. I care more about your children than these corporations and pharmaceutical companies that just look at you as a dollar, So that's the mission I'm on, Tommy. Like I started with just my story, my coaching program. Now there's a ripple effect taking place. And I see the bigger picture of the change we can make on a massive level. And that's what I get fired up for, because that's what I'm being called to do, man.
Well, I think it's honorable. I think what I love about this is I see people when they smile, man. When someone says they weren't born with the right stuff, and that, they don't understand. A lot of people say, you don't understand my life. You don't know how busy it is. But then I see them after 90 days, and I see them smile, and their energy and their vigor, their effort, and just this aura. We want it for everybody. One of the reasons I'm on here this morning is because if we wake up one person, if one person wakes up, the messages I've been getting, and I imagine you get hundreds of 10 times, 100 times what I get. You cannot put money. There's no value. If we could just wake more people up, they're going through life, and they literally are eating poison, and they think it's normal. They're like, oh yeah, but you don't know. You don't understand. It's easier for you to say. I am so fucking sick of excuses, dude. I am so done with it. Yeah, I don't want anybody in my life, zero people in my life that have excuses. I don't even want to be around them. It's like the plague. Like literally, it's a virus. To hear a victim around me is a virus, and I need it as far away from me as possible. When someone just starts making excuses, I want to eliminate them out of my life. I can't be around it. And you do understand that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, even family members in the past I had to distance myself from because they were so negative and toxic in their thinking. And if you're around that, it affects you, man. And it is. It's like a plague. It's like a virus. And people don't even realize Like right now, if I was dead broke, Tommy, and just at the very or if I was so busy I couldn't prioritize my health, I wouldn't sit there and make excuses. If that's how I really felt, I'd sit there and analyze, well, how can I change this situation? What do I need to do in the next 90 days or 9 years to make sure I'm not in this same place? So it's the difference between a victim, you make excuses and justify your situation and nothing changes, versus someone who's open minded and a solution oriented thinker. They might be in a messed up spot. Those excuses might be almost justifiable, but they don't stay there. They find solutions because of the way they think. They find a recourse. They actually make positive and forward progress. So that's the difference, man. Victim mindedness is something that kills people's potential and it ruins their lives. And they oftentimes don't even realize it. That's why I wrote this book, Tommy, Prison of Your Own, because I was shocked when I came home from prison to see how many people I knew from my past who were stuck, who were in the same place they were after 5 years or even worse. They looked worse. They you could tell they were just they were in decline. And I was shocked. I was like, why aren't these people further ahead? Why aren't they happier? Why aren't they healthier? And it was because of the way they thought and the victim mindedness they had created in their lives.
And you see it all the time. I had a buddy, so my buddy's in town, and he had a guy that he used to work for, couldn't be more than 7 years older than us. I hope he doesn't see this, but he looks a lot older. I don't know. Sometimes people see my podcast that I didn't plan on seeing. So I don't want to say too much.
Hey, sometimes the truth is what people need to hear, if we really care about them. Something I want to ask you though, like a guy like that or somebody who feels like they're too busy, they know they want to be healthier, they're running business, and they got a family at home though too. Like, what are 3 things, Tommy, you would just tell them to focus on? Because we want to make it simpler for people. I think they get overwhelmed, and the idea of all the stuff they have to do stops them from ever taking one step forward. We want to make it simple,
But I know. And the simplest things, man, I'll tell you this. What gets measured gets managed. I wear this Aura ring. It's on my hand right now. I think you've got to know where you're at. You've got to go get the DEXA scan. You've got to go see Dr. J. You've got to understand what your body needs. Otherwise, you're guessing. And it's not expensive. DEXA scan is like 60 or 70 bucks. Like, I got Ryan from Chirp to go get a DEXA scan, and he posted it. He's 40%, and he's going to make a big difference. But when Bree found out her DEXA scan, she was like, I'm going to get rid of this. Like, this is never going to happen. I had no idea. Like, you don't know till you really know. Till like you've got the paperwork that shows it. And I think Dr. J and DEXA help with that. So step 1 is know where your numbers are and have an ability to track. Step 2 is you got to make it easy, man. You got to have like alternatives. Like, you got to have, if you like restaurants, pick 10 restaurants and do the research and have 3 things that you can order from each. I mean, just make it happen on your way to work. Like, it takes a little bit of time. I don't ever eat at a restaurant. Like, I'm not going to any of these places anymore. Like, even my lunches are made and prepared. So the next thing is make the food easy. And then another great piece of advice is don't drink your calories. Alcohol, soda, like this thing right here is called a Stay Salty thing. And it just adds salts into your bloodstream.
Is that LMNT? Is that the product?
I don't know, but
yeah, like
it's electrolytes, no sugar, no caffeine.
Yeah, those are so good. I actually had one in my shaker today, but that's a great point. I think a lot of people don't realize how many calories they consume when they drink certain
Don't drink your calories. And then literally the other thing is when the easiest one, man, and everybody's going to hate it, but forget your treadmill, forget your gym. Do it at night, do it in the morning if it's too hot outside. But go on a long walk. Pump up music. You can listen to an Audible. Just get in the zone. And then what'll happen is if you walk and get a long walk in, your sleep is going to automatically get better. Like, guaranteed. And all I would say is I started drinking bottled water, but not regular bottled plastic water. We put it in glasses now. Um, it's just it's like a well, because when you start doing a couple of things, Sean, you start wanting it all because you see the progress. But those are easy things, dude. It's not
Yeah.
hard food to eat.
Um,
And then when I'm
like,
on vacation, and I don't go on vacation, but I'm on a trip. Um, I love it, dude, because the gym's completely different. And I'll go in and I'm not bored. So I'll go for a long walk outside, which is awesome in a new area. And then I'll put in a like different machines. Like, dude, I'm not you jacked. I don't know. My phone's there.
you're getting
But
pretty
like I'm not where you're at, but dude, like everybody's like, dude, you're getting huge. And I'm not even trying to. Like I'm not
big.
doing anything different. I'm lifting heavier. I'm staying consistent. And here's the thing, dude. We still got 3 months.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
got 3 months. I will see what I'm at in a few weeks. But all I want to do is come out around 16 and a half, 17. Like I don't want a miracle. And then I'm just gonna go down to 14 in like 6 weeks. And then I just want to go down to like 10. You know, I know I said I'd be under 10. I might be at 7. I might be at 11. I'm not going to get mad. I don't want to look unhealthy. We got to see how my body reacts. And this is why you're involved because I'm not going to look like, I'm sick on a stage just because I said I was going to be like my face is already really thin compared to most.
Yeah, you want to be optimized. There's a big difference. We're not trying to like deplete you for bodybuilding shows, but you're crushing it. And well, here's the thing that you said that's really important for people to understand. If you've read the book by James Clear, Atomic Habits, he talks about habit stacking, and that's what you were saying. Like once you establish one fundamental habit focused on your health, it's so much easier to add additional habits. Like so, for someone that's just struggling to be consistent and you're busy as heck if you just get up and walk for 30 minutes to start, or even 10 minutes, start by walking 10 minutes consecutively for the next week in the morning. Just get that done. Once you can do that, you can do 15 or 20. Eventually, you work your way up to that whole hour, like Tommy said, and then you're going to start looking at your nutrition, your sleep, all these different variables. And it's so much easier to then build a lifestyle around being healthy versus trying to do all these things at once. So that would be my advice. Someone struggling, pick one thing that you'd be able to establish that you could build upon. And Tommy, like people know all this though. They know about the nutrition. They know exercise is good. They know all this, but they still don't do it. And here's the thing. When I talk to people or when I coach, I'm always looking to stoke some emotion in them. I want to paint a picture for them in the future of what their life's going to be like if they don't change now. Because honestly, pain for most people is the greatest motivator. Like you're motivated by what you can become. Yeah, and some people operate that way. That's the same way I am. But when I first changed, I was motivated by the pain I was experiencing. I never wanted to experience that pain again. Here's the thing. A lot of people wait till it's too late, till they find out they're diabetic, till they're dying from something that was preventable, till they're really obese and out of shape, till the stress causes a breakdown or something in their marriage or some relapse on drugs and alcohol. Like it doesn't have to get to that point, but you have to be firmly connected to what's at stake for you. That pain or the thought of what you can lose or what you might jeopardize can change you instantly. So when I talk to men and women, that's what my job is to get them to feel that in the moment so they have a shift in their perspective. Because the guy who said he's too busy, I can shift his perspective in less than 5 seconds. This is what I always do. When guys tell me they're too busy to go to the gym, they're inconsistent, I go, okay, check it out. If you were to get a deposit of $500,000 into your bank account every day, you went to the gym at 5 a.m. and ate a perfectly clean diet, how many days out of the week would you miss? And just like that, they say, well, none. And I go, okay, so it's possible because they see the money hitting their account. They understand the value there, but there's a disconnect when it comes to understanding the value of being a healthier, better version of themselves and what those daily habits can do for their future life and how it can change the way they show up for their family and how it changes the way they feel about themselves and everything. So right then and there, when they tell me, oh yeah, I'd never miss, that's the shift in their perspective that we need to start focusing on because it's all about mindset. And when they see things a certain way, they're never going to change. But as soon as their perspective is shifted, now they start to see, oh, it's possible. And then you got to get them to understand how, man, you being in a healthy body, you living a long, good quality life, you showing up with more energy for your family, It's priceless. The money couldn't even buy that for you if you had enough money. So why don't we do the things every day now to create that life and become that person? And that's what I always focus on, man, because that's what really creates long lasting change in people.
You know what's weird about me, and you probably have seen this just us talking over the last couple of months a lot, is I'm not as worried about sickness. I'm not as worried about like the future on your deathbed. Are you going to regret? I'm more worried about who I could become like this year, like the near future, like the optimistic, like the non-fear. Like I think I'm a rare breed. I'm just like,
Well, you are. That's what I was saying. Most people they aren't, and you need to use that pain and that fear in their favor. Most people do the opposite though. Like the fear holds them back, you know. So, but keep going because that's good. Like you are different in a good way.
I mean, dude, like I can't explain the way my muscles feel. It's so weird. And I think it's a lot to do with Dr. J. And obviously, I'm working out really hard. But like, dude, we went. Here's what I did yesterday: 4 incline benches with 4 10-pound slams. And you're already familiar, but I want everybody to hear. And then I did 4 heavy cable for pectoral cable. You know, where you pull them in.
Cable flies, yeah.
And then I did 3 sets of the bouncy ball thing, just a half thing. I did 12 push-ups, just 4 sets of those alternating with 10 dips with full body weight. And then we did 2 sets of triceps, 3 sets each. And then I did 3 sets of abs. And today I'm doing legs. And I'm going all out. I'm literally gonna break my legs apart. And I'm gonna get over 20,000 steps.
Let's go.
You know, John, you know this about me. I'm results driven.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times where I look and I'm like, I'm not seeing anything. It's been a week, or I'm not losing the weight. I'm not, you know what? Something's still happening. Like, I don't see it, but people are seeing it. And the deal is like, I'm not going to stop. This is like a way of life. Like, I'm going to see how far I could take this. I saw this dude on Instagram the other day. He said it took me 3 years to get here. And it's someone like that looks like you, your body. Like it doesn't happen in like 2 months or 3 months. The body that I want. Yeah. It takes a while. And you know what? It might be a little bit of vanity. I don't really care.
Well, it's pride in who you are, Tommy. Like I have to do what I do every day just to feel okay with myself. And that's the most important thing. I learned a long time ago that I no longer want to live in a place of regret and shame. It's the worst feeling in the world when you're not happy with who you are. I used to drink just to hide that feeling or smoke or whatever. And now every day, moment to moment, every decision I make are decisions that make me feel proud of who I am as a father, as a husband, as a leader. Like I won't eat donuts right now because I would regret that because I don't want to put that stuff in my body. I wouldn't hit one of my kids because I'd feel like an asshole. I wouldn't disrespect my wife. Like there's all these things. I got so clear, Tommy, on who my ultimate self is. And every day my goal is to live as close to that man as possible in every decision, every action, everything I do. And to me, that's the ultimate form of success. When in here, when no one's around, you are so happy with who you are. That's how you create inner peace, love, gratitude. So then if you want to really change lives and be a good person, you do that. And then you transfer that feeling to everybody that you come across. Like people that take care of themselves, they're not jerks and assholes. They're the best people in the world. You know it when you get to know somebody and you feel that energy, you're like, dang, that guy's a special person or that woman's a special person. And if you watch how they live, it's no wonder they can pass and transfer that energy to other people.
I get a lot of stuff when I'm out. Like, dude, Gronkowski, what happened? Like, you're way bigger, way more well-defined. Like, what do people say? Like, how often do you get people talking to you? Like, you know, like everybody's picking your brain and like, I don't know. I know you're married, but like what goes on?
I get a lot of, I've gotten a lot of DMs from from anyway, never mind, different subject. But look, I was at we were somewhere the other day, and there was this youngster. I forgot where we were at, and he's like, "Hey, where do you work out, bro?" And I was like, I told him, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, I have a Fitness 19 here in town. That's one of the gyms I go to. And I told him, he's like, "Hey, that's cool. Like, I go to the one down in Oxnard, you know?" So all the time I'll get comments like that. People will make comments. And it's funny. Sometimes it's kind of weird, but it's like, how crazy is this that we'll get comments for just being physically fit and in shape when the average person is not even close to that? And like, my goal is that everyone gets to a place where they look and feel that way. I'm not saying I want to create a world of bodybuilders, but like, not fat, like healthy. Have you seen that clip recently? It's showing high school kids in the 1960s doing PE, and they're all lean and slender. They all have abs. They don't even work out like we do now. They just ate better food and they were more active. And then nowadays they're taking PE out of schools. They have PE like twice a week, a lot of kids are obese. Kids under the age of 13 should not be obese. And I was at the beach the other day and I saw these boys running around and they all had little bellies and little man boobs already. And it breaks my heart, man, to see 9-year-olds that way. So for me, my kids eat healthy. I got them in Krav Maga. My son's 3, my daughter's 4, and my oldest boy's 13. 3 times a week, we go to Krav Maga, which is self-defense and martial arts. So they're learning striking, they're learning self-defense, they're doing push-ups, they're squats, they're running, jumping over stuff, and they're learning. This is the coolest thing. The instructor teaches them about honor, respect, courtesy, discipline. So all the stuff that I represent and teach, now they're hearing it from another person they respect. And that's, for me, I get so excited to pass on these beliefs and values to my children, because once they're programmed that way, that's really who they are. It's very hard to break that. Most people don't realize, but they're raising their kids to be programmed in a way that leads to victim-mindedness, puts them at a disadvantage, and it's just unfair to that child. So I'm passionate about it, Tommy, because I think I was one of those kids who was raised in a household where I kind of learned a lot of the wrong things, and I was able to break those patterns and reprogram myself. And now I want to make sure that I'm passing on the right information and the right example to my kids and everyone that watches me.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the studies say between ages 3 to 7, you make the most cognitive connections, and a lot of those come from food. And when you see your parents, you're going to become your parents. If you're a parent that's smoking all the time, your kids are smoking. If you're pounding them down, you're saying it's okay, they're going to do it. They want to be like you. I'm sorry. I'm not a parent, but I was a kid. So I don't really care if you like this. If someone's listening and they don't want to hear it, the facts are you cannot go just same thing as a leader. You cannot do this stuff and expect no one else to do it. You can't say, well, I don't count. Don't count me. I'm different. So some people just need to wake up, man. And it's okay. Listen, the only thing I love to do is help people wake up, because if you could get involved, or Dr. J, and just motivate these people, they just need a kick in the ass all the time. So do I. I mean, luckily I got you. I mean, I've got a few people that definitely kick my ass, and it's what I need because the results are coming. And no one ever said it was going to be easy, but if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
100%.
And I want the respect. That's what I want. I want to say, man, that dude's incredible. Like, really, like he is busy. That's like, dude, I don't think anybody would say I'm not one of the busier people out there on the planet. And I'm going to show that I can do it all and still smile and have fun and have a relationship with Bree, still play with my dogs, and still go on vacations, and still 10x this thing, and then 10x the body. So I'm not going to be done by September. We're going to set a new goal. For me, I'm just going to get my body to where like a starting point. Like, this is where we need it. And then me and you are going to look at where I'm at and then design the workouts after that.
100%, dude. Just the beginning.
Sean, I got to head out here, brother, but I want you to close this out with a little words of wisdom and maybe some action steps.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a really good, podcast, or really good clip right here. I think just people need to hear this stuff more and more because we grow up in a society where it's easy to develop the wrong habits. It's easy to get conditioned to do the wrong thing. You know, I did that for many years. I didn't care what I ate. I drank a lot of alcohol. I drank soda. I just wasn't around the right people. And it's like, we need to get new information and see different people, you know, doing different things for a long time or repetition for it to click for us. So, Tommy, that's why I love we do these lives every so often because we got to get this message out there. And the cool thing about social media and the world's trending kind of towards being healthier with all this new information we have. So, if you're somebody who has the wrong habits like I did, or you're not healthy like I once was, you can change. You got to know that. And if you have kids or you have things that are important to you, you have to like find it within yourself to make it a priority. Like you can't continue to go along and be naive and make excuses because, you know, one day you're going to have those regrets. And I know Tommy said he doesn't think about that. He's driven right now in the moment. But for a lot of you, you need to think about what's at stake because that'll change you instantly. And man, I don't know. I just want to be the best version of myself, Tommy, for first and foremost, so I can go to sleep at peace and be happy with who I am. But then I love to see the way it affects my wife and children. I love to see the impact I can make in other people's lives. And I never would be here if I didn't get these basic things down. My mindset, my nutrition habits, my workout habits, my daily my daily disciplines. So man, I just want to I want to change the world, Tommy. I know you do too, and we need more people that think like us and operate like us to do it because we're just two people and we can have a massive impact. But imagine if we had thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people living this way, thinking this way, and really trying to make an impact on the world. Like it's incredible. So anybody listening to this, man, I hope this fired you up. If you want to talk or chat, you can always reach out to me, Sean Michael Crane on social media. Send me a DM. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Hey, let's go, brother. Thank you. We'll do this again soon. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Enjoy your weekend, brother.
All right. See you guys.